Hello, fuzzy ducklings! How are you doing today? I hope you're in the mood to do some fun crafting. Today we are going to make a mandala made out of sequins. This is so much fun, and you could also do this with buttons if you wanted. So let's start! There are just a few things you will need for this project. First, you'll need a base to build the project on. Now, if you want to hang it on the wall, you can always get you a canvas. I would suggest, about 8 by 8 or 10 by 10 for that. Or just a piece of cardstock. Or if you're going to do like me, I just have a pretty piece of scrapbooking paper. It all depends on what you want to do with this. If you want to hang it on the wall, it will need to be on something sturdy. Now, for me, I just intend to put it either in my art journal or my scrapbook. A piece of paper that fits into my page protectors is what I'm aiming at. So I have just about an 8.5 by 11 here that I'm going to work on. You will need glue. I think we need that almost every project. Probably scissors if you need to cut paper down to size. The most important thing you will need, though, is your, well, what shall we call it? Is your little pretty things you're using. I am going to be using mostly sequins. Look at this. All these shapes. Now, I imagine you don't have any sitting in the house right now, but you might if you're a crafter. All of these, plus some I've used, came from one package I bought at Walmart. They have the neatest sequins. What used to be sequins were just tiny little round things. And now there's just all kinds of shapes and colors of sequins. So I would suggest next time you go grocery shopping, just run down that aisle at Walmart, if you go to Walmart or Target. Go down the craft aisle and buy you some sequins. I am also using one of these, at least in the center, these jewels. These can also be bought at our big stores now in the craft department. So I have all kinds of shapes of jewels and then the little round gems. Now, that's what I'm making mine out of. But I also would like to make one out of buttons. This would be so cute done with buttons. Or maybe stickers. I haven't tried that. But if you had pretty flower stickers or other shapes, you could do this with stickers. Trying to think. There's probably many things you could do this with. Just use your imagination and think about what you've got in the house. So, the first thing you need to do then, get your piece of paper. For me, I want to place my mandala in the center. So I need to find the exact center of my piece of paper. And I'm sure you all know how to do that. Just use your ruler and measure it and then put a light dot in the center. We don't want pencil marks showing up on here, but I'm going to cover that up with a sequin anyway. So I have made my dot for the center, and now I want to ink my edges here. I just love this antique, what is it? It is called, it's Distress Ink Photo, let's see, I know it's on here somewhere. Vintage Photo. Finishing up here. Okay, I have finished putting my edge in, my ink edge in. And you probably have already done the next step. Even though I didn't mention it, you've probably played around with those sequins already. You need to play around with them and lay them out in a design that you like. And have them just laid out. They don't have to be perfect, because this is just learning how you want to put this together. So you can transfer them onto another piece of paper. Now be sure, most likely if you do a mandala the way we usually do, there's going to be 8 of whatever design you're using. There's 8 of these flowers, there's 8 of these blue pieces, there's 8 leaves. Or if you don't have 8 of a certain sequin or button. You could do them every other one and have 4 of each with each one. Now, if several of you are doing this craft together, I would suggest you get a package of sequins for each crafter. Although there's loads and loads of sequins in a packet, it can be a little bit hard to find 8 of each one. Now, I found 8 of several, but if more than one person was making this, they wouldn't get 8. Only one of us would get 8. So think of that when you buy these, that you probably need more than one packet, one for each crafter. So I have laid these out in a rough draft of what I want to do, and my next step will be to fasten these to my permanent piece of paper. So I'm going to move this back over. Now, instead of putting glue on the sequin itself, I would suggest you put glue on the piece of paper or your canvas and then drop the sequin onto it. So let me get my center sequin here. And sometimes you need to look at both sides of these. They might be different. And I'm going to put that right there so my center circle is right there in the center. So let me get my glue. Now this piece is easy to handle. It's nice and big. And I'm going to put a dot of glue there. And this one is so big, it has several little layers. So I'm going to go against that rule and put some glue on these other little spots here too. Here we go. First step, and down we went. All right, and I had a gem on top of that, like this. And again, this one I will go ahead and glue to the back too. I give you an idea of how to do it, and then I don't do it, do I? That's the way it goes. It's the way with rules. You know, we make rules for things and then never follow them. And carefully center that in there. Okay, now I have leaves next, and I'm going to tuck a leaf in each one of these little areas like this. So let me get a leaf here, and now I will go ahead and place some glue here. You might get by with using glue stick. I don't know. I imagine you'll want to use a wet glue or, as I say, your glue gun. Just like that. Now I'm knocking this a little bit. Let's push that back down. And then just work all the way around. Now I'm going to do this with my green leaves, and I'll be right back. All right, there's my last leaf. Sometimes you have to encourage these to stick down. I'm finding that sequins have a little bit of a life of their own. Now this is my first round in. And now I'm going to do another circle of a different sequin, one like that. And I'm going to go all the way around with that sequin. So I'm going to put some glue there. And down with my sequin. And I'm going to go all the way around with that. And be right back with you. Okay, I'm here for my last sequin in this circle. Try to get them all as close as you can to being in a circle. Adjust them as you need to before they dry. There we go. And now I have another row. My next row consists of a large sequin like this. And then after I've got those on, I'm going to glue a sequin over the bottom of that, like that. So, now you will have different sequins, I'm sure, and different ways you want to do this. But as you see, the whole idea is just a design that goes around in circles, just like we did when we drew them for a mandala. Like that. And I'm going to go all the way around with these. And then after I've gone all the way around, I'm going to add this gold one at the bottom. There, I got way too much glue. But you know what? It'll be fine. There we go. So I'm going to do that, and I will be right back with you. All right. Getting right along here. Finishing up these gold pieces. Hey, we're almost done with this. Once you have everything decided which ones you want, it goes pretty quick. Now, my next row was flowers. And I noticed my flowers don't want to lay down real straight. So I may have to set something heavy on these guys while they dry. And I'm thinking I may just get them glued down quickly and then lay a heavy book on top of it to let them dry a while. So let's see. This one I know will do pretty good. Now I need to see how close I want these. And you know, you can do as many circles as you want and fill them in as much as you want. I'm thinking probably a little jewel or something on top of each one of these flowers. But I also think they better dry first. These need some dry time too because they want to pop up. So I'm going to get these glued down real quickly, and then I'm going to plop a big dictionary or something on top of here. So, and I'm going to break my rule because I need to have glue under every one of these little petals on this one. Now, you may not have something that's going to be this hard to glue down that you're using if you've got a nice big button or something. So, right down here, it goes. All right, I'll be back with you again in a few. Okay, as you can see, these are not laying down at all. So I'm going to place this gently on top and hope I don't move anything. And then my heavy dictionary goes right here, and we're going to let that set there for 10 or 15 minutes. And then I'll be back and we'll see how it works. Okay, I have let this set actually a couple hours probably. Hopefully it's good and dry. So let's take this off now. There we go. There is our dried mandala. And you know what? I'm not done yet. I found these little pink stones that I want to glue in the center of every one of these flowers. Don't you think that'll be neat? So, I'm going to get at it. And a quick way to do this kind of thing is to just go ahead and put glue in the center of every one of these. This is tacky glue, so it doesn't dry real quick. Gives you a little time to work with it. You can do that on these others too sometimes if you're going to be fairly quick in putting them down. There we go. I have a gem in the center of each one of these flower petals. Now that'll take a little while to dry. There's one more thing I want to do, and this is totally up to you, of course. But up close, you can see that a lot of our sequins have the typical sequin hole in it. And I'd like to fill that hole up. Now, you could use maybe a tiny seed bead or a tiny pearl. Oh, there's probably any number of things you can use, but I'm going to use glitter glue. I have this Stickles glitter glue, which is the best out there, but there's a lot of other brands of glitter glue. Or if you don't mind the mess, dab these little spots with glue and put regular loose glitter on it. If you do that, don't do it till these are dry though, or you'll get glitter stuck all over these other places. But I'm going to use my Stickles. I think I'll try this rose gold one on it, and let's see how that works. I love stickles, but you can't get them every place anymore. I'm just going to put a little dot in the center here where the hole is. And it will cover up the hole and make a little shiny spot. I don't know if you can see how this looks on camera, but it looks much better now that that hole is filled. And I want to fill the holes on these too, and I'll use the same one. Okay, you know, I'm about ready to call this mandala finished. So, I hope you have a chance to do this because it's really fun. Anyway, I will see you on our next video, and I'll say bye-bye for now.